Well, hello there, and welcome to the bathroom of the dollhouse for another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and you Stelfers. Now, a lot of times, my friends, at the end of the birthday readings in this book, I'll make mention of the season that people are born in. And I realize this probably seems like a rather trivial piece of otherwise obvious information. So let's dive into the meaning and the context that the book provides for the season of winter and find out how it relates to not just the zodiac, but the personalities of the people born when it takes place. All right, let's dive in, shall we? The season of winter. Now, it's said to take place from December 21st on through to March 21st, and the zodiac position is 0 degrees Capricorn on through to 0 degrees Aries. The human age it's said to represent are the ages of 63 through to 84. The cusp concepts are said to be prophecy, mystery, and imagination, also sensitivity. And the signs are Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. The rulers are the planets Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The symbols are the goat, the water bearer, and the fish. And the elements are earth, air, and water. And the mottos are I master, I universalize, and I believe. And the dominant faculty is thought. Well, all right, let's dive into what they have to say about winter there, just the breakdown if you like, all right? Let's get into it here. The winter solstice usually occurs on December 21st in the northern hemisphere. And this date marks the beginning of winter in the northern hemisphere, but in the southern hemisphere, winter begins around June 21st. And at this time of stillness, nights are longer and days are shorter than at any other time in the year. And as winter advances through the bitter days and on into a hint of spring, the nights grow shorter and the days longer. And winter is the fourth and last quarter of the 90-degree segment of the yearly cycle. And the season extends from the winter solstice to the spring equinox. And winter is traditionally the period at which the water in ponds and rivers freeze, and snow falls and the sound of nature is muted and the land lies sleeping under a white blanket. Trees stretch their bare arms into a gray sky only lit for a few hours a day by a low rising sun. And although much of nature seems dead, this is only a surface view. Deep within the earth, powerful forces are engaged in a metamorphosis, and the result of which will be evident to the eye in spring. Nothing really dies but is transformed into another state, and there is a feeling of waiting and of expectation. Life is moved inside and underground, and warmth is sought in caves and in houses from bitter howling winds. And fire keeps humans warm, and foods that have been stored for the winter are eaten by both people as well as animals. Well, all right, that's been the breakdown of winter, the obvious interpretation of as much. So let's dive into the signs in the life periods said to belong to winter. All right, here we go. The signs and the life periods. Winter comprises 3 astrological signs: the cardinal earth sign, Capricorn, the fixed air sign, Aquarius, and the mutable water sign, Pisces. And these 3 signs can be likened in human terms to the life of an individual aged 63 to 84. In this spiritual period of human development, from late middle age to death, evidences many of the same aspects of stillness, interiorization of experience, and of quieting of the instincts, or the instinctual demands, rather, that characterize nature's winter. This fourth quadrant of the grand life cycle is governed by the faculty of thought and can be seen as a waxing period which manifests subjectively and has a conscious orientation. Although subjective, underground, interior activity has completely replaced outward growth in both nature and the human being, objective changes are on the way. And in the case of humans, consciousness may have become less concerned with the externals and more with the worlds of thought, religion, philosophy, spirituality, and other universal concerns. Astrologically, this is related to the fact that the signs Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces are ruled by the heavenly bodies Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, which are all heavy outer planets. And these bodies are big and far from Earth, and taken approximately 28, 84, and 165 years, respectively, to make their way around the zodiac. And the outlook of the adult at this time is more universal. And such concerns as competing in the marketplace, raising a family, reproducing, building a powerful exterior, and striving to make a mark in the world of society are generally diminished or even completely absent now. The elder must prepare psychologically for the coming of the end of a life cycle. Well, all right, there's the signs and life periods. Let's dive into the wintertime personality. Here we go. Generally speaking, wintertime people are more concerned with the larger picture. They can be dominant types who rule their space with assurance, but often also display a greater degree of flexibility, sensitivity, acceptance, and spirituality than those born at other times of the year. And although those born in the winter are often quiet types, many manifest great excitement through their thoughts, ideas, and their work. They are particularly distinguished by an active imagination and a fantasy life. And the most successful of wintertime people can objectify these visions and perhaps make them a source of creativity rather than be victimized by them. And the allegiance of wintertime people is not so much to society or to personal considerations as to the world of ideas. Wintertime people are less concerned with the state of the world as it is now and more with how it could and should be. A real reforming spirit can show itself in this personality, and an interest in matters concerning political and economic justice is very common. All right, that's what the book had to say about the season of winter. So hopefully you took something of interest from that. Outside of the fact it's just something we stick our head out the window and notice. Hey, it apparently has a little bit more meaning than that. So like I said, hopefully you took something of interest. And if you've ever come away from a birthday reading, which I have on the channel, if you've ever sat through before and come to the part where I mentioned the season, you're like, okay, so, well, now you have an answer for what that might just so happen to mean. So there you go. In any event, I hope you enjoyed yourselves, took something to note, and if you haven't been here before and you just dropped in out of interest, well, I hope to see you for your birthday reading posted elsewhere on the channel. So take care of yourselves and hope to see you then. Take care.